Hello guys, today I have an interesting story for you. The man who listened to silence. There was once a man named Elliot Gray who lived in the heart of a noisy city. Trains clattered on the tracks outside his apartment. Car horns cried through the windows, and his phone buzzed like a restless bee every other minute. He worked in marketing, where people talk too fast and listen too little. Over time, Elliot began to feel something strange growing inside him. Not quiet sadness, not quiet anger, but something weighty and silent. One day, during a meeting full of buzzwords and fake laughter, Elliot stood up, walked out, and kept walking. He didn't know where he was going. He just knew he needed to leave the noise behind. He boarded the first train going anywhere, left his phone on the seat, and watched the city melt away. Eventually, he arrived at a place he'd never heard of, Wellspring Valley. The name felt like a whisper. The town was quiet, almost too quiet. No traffic, no neon lights, no music from passing cars. Just wind in the trees, birds chirping softly, and the distant sound of water. Elliot rented a small cabin at the edge of a forest. The first night he couldn't sleep. The silence was so loud, so unfamiliar. But by the third day his breathing matched the rhythm of the world around him. He began to hear things he'd never noticed before, the sound of his own thoughts, the hum of the earth, the tiny click of a beetle crawling on wood. He met an old woman named Claire, the local librarian. The library had no internet and no computers, just rows of old books. Claire told him, "This valley was built on quiet. People who need to hear themselves come here." Elliot spent his days hiking, writing in notebook he hadn't touched in years, and listening. Listening not just with his ears, but with his whole being. And slowly something started to heal. Weeks turned into months. One day Claire said to him, "You've been listening to the silence for a while. Are you ready to speak?" Elliot paused. Then he said, "I think I finally know what I want to say." He returned to the city, not as the man who left, but as someone who had found his own voice in a world that never stopped talking. He started a podcast, not one full of interviews or ads, but simply moments of silence, broken by gentle reflections, stories from the quiet parts of the world, and the sound of nature. To his surprise, people listened. In a world full of noise, Eliot's silence became a sanctuary. Guys, I have it's a very interesting story, and I think you have a great feeling and thoughts, and I like you write about it in the comment below, and I will be very happy to read it. And I just want to say a couple of words in the end of this video. This story just shows us that more information is not always better. Sometimes we know all the answers but don't know which one to use. And sometimes it's better to just stop, to slow down. Have a great time, guys. Good luck.